Hello friends, in this video we'll see what an accounts ledger is, how to create a new ledger, how to edit an existing ledger, and how to work in that form. Okay, so what is an accounts ledger? Accounts ledger, it contains different accounts where the record of a transaction pertaining to a specific account is stored. Now it can also be called as book of accounts. We'll just open up the accounts ledger form so that you will have a better understanding. So how to open up the accounts ledger? You got to go to the accounts menu. Here there is something called add/edit ledger. Either you can open up this way, just click on this one, or if not, go to the masters. Under masters you have this chart of accounts, you can click on that, or if not, there is under the dashboard, under accounts section, there is ledger master to open up your accounts ledger. So under this accounts ledger, the accounting structure of the whole firm is defined in this accounts ledger. And as I said, this is also called the book of accounts, and this is the one which stores all the accounting activities of a organization, and it is very important to maintain this for a company. Only after this, the proper maintenance of this accounts ledger, only then you can understand where the company stands, like what the position of the company is, whether it is running under profit or under loss. So let's have a look at the account structure. So the account structure is basically classified into balance sheet and profit and loss accounts. So these are the two statements which are required for a organization. Now, what is a balance sheet? Balance sheet, it's the balance sheet shows the financial position of the business. It records the assets and liabilities of a organization. Now, under assets, so this is the assets and the liabilities. Under the assets, we have fixed assets, investment, current asset, miscellaneous assets, etc. And to furthermore classify, under fixed assets, there is accumulated depreciation, computer program, machineries, the things that the company owns. It buys some equipments and all. So those things and all comes under fixed assets. And movable, immovable assets, so these and all are the one which comes under fixed assets. Under investment, investment is something that company invests on something, like it buys the shares and it invests some amount on different firms or mutual funds or real estate. So that is called as investment. And then we have the current assets, and under the current assets, it's the debitors, the bank cash in hand, loans and advances, the uncleared receipts. So the uncleared receipts are the checks received and the credit card received for which we haven't received the payment yet, so that's why it comes under assets. Then we have the profit, and before that, let me just clear out the liabilities as well. Under the liabilities, it is the owner's fund, that is the capital amount. Under loan fund, this is the loan which is taken by the company or from either the bank or some external sources. So that is the loan funds. So that is all about the balance sheet. Coming to the profit and loss statement, again this is one of the important financial statement required by a company. So it is furthermore classified as income, that is the sources by which the company gets money is called, that is what comes under income. So it is furthermore classified as direct income and indirect income. And coming to the expenses, again the expenses are classified as direct expenses and indirect expenses. Under the direct expenses, the freight charges, the custom duties. So these are some of the direct expenses which are met by the company. And the indirect expenses such as the salaries, the wages, and sometimes the discount given, or sometimes the marketing, the amount that the company spends on marketing to market their products as advertisement. So these and all comes under indirect expenses. Coming to the trading account, trading account is the gross profit or gross loss. So the whatever account it is which has a transaction of buying and selling, those activities, the net profit and loss, that comes under the trading account. It's furthermore classified as sales, services, opening stock, purchases, production expenses. And coming to the suspense account, this suspense account is needed when we find it when there is a difficulty in identifying under which ledger account any particular transaction comes. So it's actually a temporary account. So for time being, we'll put the transaction under the suspense account. Later on, once it is cleared out, it is transferred to the actual ledger account. If not, it remains in the suspense account itself. So that is all about the accounting structure. Now we shall see how to create an accounts ledger. Say now we are going to create a ledger name saying the vehicles owned by a company. Vehicles owned by company, and this is going to come under the fixed assets. So I'm going to type here fixed assets. This is the one, and if any narration is there, you can put it under narration. And then once the details are filled, and by default this active button is checked, saying that this particular ledger account that we are creating is an active one. So nothing more mandatory fields to be filled in, and once the details are filled in, you can click the save button. So this saves the record to the database. So let's see now if our vehicles is added to the fixed asset group. Here it is, vehicles owned by company. Now say if we want to enter some expenses that is met by a company. So let's clear off this one, clear the data. Suppose if it is some office car expenses, or fuel expenses, or say some tea expenses or travel expenses, whatever the expenses is, let's create a ledger for the same. Say I'm going to create a fuel expense. The ledger name is fuel expense, and it's going to come under expenses. So I'll select the expenses here. That's it. And narration, if any is there, you can enter it here, active is ticked, and then click the save button. So the error came because it is supposed to be specified under which expense this particular fuel expense is going to come. So here I'm going to select, it's actually going to come under the indirect expense. So I got to specify between among these two, the direct expenses and the indirect expenses. So here I'm going to select indirect expenses and then click the save button. Fuel expenses is already there. So in that case, I'll change it as travel expense. travel expenses there, so maybe office or expense. So this is another kind of indirect expense that you can enter here, and then click the save button. So this is how you add expenses to the accounts ledger. And in case of any edit to be done, you can just either you can fetch it from the ledger name, either you can type here, say if I type freight which is coming under the direct expenses, freight charges, so this you can type in here, and if any changes is supposed to be done, you can change it here. Maybe you want to name it as freight charges, and then click the save button. So this is how you edit an accounts ledger. So that is all about creating a new accounts ledger and editing it. Hope this video is clear, and hope you have a nice day. Thank you.